Okay, so welcome to page 182 on the 14th of May. It's going to be a tough one. Very, very tough one. Okay, so the first word is the word admit. What's the word? All right, exactly. Exactly, to admit, all right, which is to confess or to acknowledge something. All right, it's also like, for example, I had to admit that the day was out of the ordinary. Lobster and crab, if anybody remembers that fable, that's a beautiful, beautiful one. Okay, so again, to confess, to acknowledge, right, is to admit. Another way to use the word admit, think about when you go to a movie theater. They will not allow you in unless you have a ticket. So they will admit you in, to let someone in, to accept, to permit, to grant. All right, you need your tickets to go into the movie theater. That's kind of the simplest way I could do a bus fare or, with the Metro card. Okay, there are many other ways you'll come up with. Admit, let's go. Admit, admit. Let's go. First syllable, ad. Second syllable, mit. Okay, so dot your I, cross your T, and get rid of that. We could use it more than one way. Excellent. It's a homograph. 2 sentences, you know what you have to do. Okay? Now, when you put it in the past, he admitted that he was guilty in court. Admitted. Okay? The usher in the movie theater admitted us into the movie theater. Our neighbors admitted us into the house. Admitted. Let's go. Watch. Admitted. Admitted. Let's go. Admitted. Admitted. Good. How do we mark this up? Excellent. Underline the ed. Again, notice the word admit. We have 2 syllables. We have 1 vowel at the end. We have 1 consonant at the end, or at the last, in the second syllable. And the accent is on the second syllable. Admit. Admitted. Okay, that's the 2-1-1-2 rule. That is rule 12. Double me when you add ing. Double me when you add ed. That's a variation on the 1-1-1 rule. Okay? Admitted. And again, we can use it more than one way. You got it. It is a homograph. Okay? The neighbors admitted us into their new home. Okay? The movie, right? And then, he admitted. Yes, he did it. He tried very hard to help his family. Okay, he wanted to keep it a secret, but he let it out. The next word that comes from the word admit is the word admittance. What's the word? Going back to the first one, admittance. So, for example, you'll see in stores right now, no admittance. They won't allow you in without a mask. Admittance. Let's go. Admit ants. Sorry, ants. We use k. Admittance. Admittance. Okay, so how do we mark this up? Underline the C and the silent E twice. Job number 3, but you got it. Rule 2. But before we get to that, it's still, again, repeat the 1-1-1 rule. And then we have, the 2-1-1-2 rule. And then that's rule 12. And then we also have rule 2, soft C. Okay? No admittance without payment. And the last word, this is where it gets a little bit crazy, even though it ends with a T. We actually, when we say admission, okay, like for example, the price of admission is $7.50, okay, it gets a little crazy. Admission, let's go. Admission. Admission. Let's go. Admission. Okay? The admission of his guilt got him 3 years in jail. How do we mark this up? You got it. Underline the sh. Okay, second sound. And you will sort of notice that the word mission is in the word admission. Now, mission is Latin for the verb to send. Admission, to send you in somewhere. I could sort of see the connection there. So what do we do with these 4 words? Awesome. Quadruple, bracket, or brace. Okay? So the next word is the word due. What's the word? Exactly, due. When something is supposed to be ready or returned, like a library book, your due date when you are giving birth, your homework is due, okay? So for example, Due to the horrible weather, people had to stay inside because it was a terrible snowstorm, okay? Due to what's going on right now, or because of what's going on right now, right? The virus is really affecting, affecting our lives. So that's a second definition. The first one, when something is supposed to be ready or returned, okay? Now, due, that's one. Due, because it's like because due to the virus, people have to keep a 6 feet distance, right? That's a second definition, okay? If any of your parents belong to a union, they have to pay their dues, okay? Which means a certain amount of money to be a part of that club or that organization, like the Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts, a union like a teachers union or, the health and hospital workers union, okay? That's a fee that you pay, okay? And also it could be like, for example, something that you're owed or you're entitled to or that you earn, like due process. Even criminals have rights. We all have rights that's due to us, that's owed to us, every single citizen in the United States. Even criminals, they have due process. They have to have their representation. Okay, so this is something that's owed to you or entitled or that you have earned. Okay, I paid it's due to me, it's owed to me because I put in all that hard work. Okay, due. They get, like the Wright brothers, they get credit for what they accomplished. Due. Let's go. U, silent E, due. I know it's a long definition, but you have to understand what these words mean. U, silent E, due. How do we mark this up? Underline the U and the silent E twice. Job number 2. So obviously, so we can use it more than one way. It is a homograph. Okay, it's a big time homograph. You need 4 separate sentences for that. And the next word going up here is the word due. What's the word? And think of the soda, Mountain Dew, right? So for example, if you've ever seen a plant or grass or a tree, it hasn't rained, but it's got that moisture on it, that's dew, okay? That's precipitation. Think about if you've ever had a cold glass of some sort of beverage. You have ice in it, and all of a sudden it looks like the glass or the cup is sweating. That's dew. That's that precipitation, a condensation, I'm sorry. So it means damp or moist or soggy, okay? No rain, and yet it's moist, okay? Sometimes we'll call it mist, M-I-S-T. What you sometimes see in the mountains or early in the morning, it looks sort of like fog, little droplets, mist, also in the shower. Think about that, that kind of quality. Dew, let's go. D-U, dew. The oo, we use oo, you. Let's go. D-U, dew. How do we mark this up? Underline the U, second sound. What do we do with these two words? Brace, okay? And these words sound the same, but they're spelled differently. You got it. It's a homophone. All right. Okay, so the next word we have is the word success. What's the word? Exactly, success. So that's going to be, let me see, hold on. So that is number 10, okay? Success. Let's go. Success. Success. All right, that's number 10. Let's go. Success. And that's an old spelling word, all right? So we have a rule here and a rule here. You got it. Rule 2 and rule 7. Okay, double consonant at the end, okay? So when you succeed, when you have success, you are successful. And again, that suffix full means literally full of, success, okay? Full of. Successful. Successful. Let's go. Successful. Successful. Okay, see a rule here? Just rule 2 in this particular case. Okay? So now, okay, when you are not successful, you are unsuccessful. The prefix on means not. Unsuccessful. Unsuccessful. Like to fail, right? Okay. Or unsuccessful can sometimes mean it's ineffective. Thomas Edison was once asked, how does it feel to have failed? I haven't failed. He was asked, how does it feel to have failed 1,000 times? I haven't failed. I just found 1,000 ways that don't work. Try 1001. Unsuccessful. So let's go. Unsuccessful. Unsuccessful. Okay, we have our rule 2 here. Okay, now going back to the word success. When you success, we say that you succeed. Succeed. Let's go. Succeed. Succeed. Double E. Let's go. I kind of messed up the order of this, so my apologies, but we'll make it work. Underline the E. I see a rule here. Again, rule 2. So what do we do with these 4 words? Quadruple brace. All right, so now, I don't know what happened, why this got messed up, but again, let's go now. When you move forward, when you begin, when you commence, when you set something in action, you proceed. Okay, this is going to be number 8. It's the word proceed. Let's go. Proceed. Proceed. We use k, s. So let's go. Proceed. Proceed. So how do we mark this up? Great, underline the O and the E. The O can say O, and right over here, there you go. Rule 4, all even numbers, and rule 2. So the word that comes from proceed is the word process. Now some people say process, like if you're from Canada or England or Australia, they'll say process. Some people say process. It depends on who you are. Okay, and process really is just, the steps or the actions to do something. Okay, it's like your course of action. What's the process? What's the plan here? What's the strategy? What's the approach? Okay, so we have the word process or process depending on where you come. For example, how you might pronounce it. Either way is acceptable. To become a citizen in the United States is a very lengthy process. It can be very, very complicated and difficult. So you need your plan. You need your course of action. Process. So let's just do it as process. Let's go. Process. Process. Let's go. Process. Process. We've got a lot going on over here. So underline the O. Right? Rule 4, Rule 2, Rule 7. So repeat, comma, Rule 7. Okay? And this comes from the word procedure. What's the word? Okay, procedure, which is really the steps. What's the procedure? How do you solve this problem, Mr. Modell? What's the procedure for when you're sick and you're not sure what you have to do? Well, you have to go to the doctor, right? Okay, so your course of action, your plan, your method, your strategy, or your approach. That's a procedure. Sometimes they'll mention when you have surgery, they'll say, I'm getting a procedure done, to fix my broken bone or something like that. Procedure. Let's go. Procedure. Procedure. Let's go. Procedure. Procedure. All right, so how do we mark this up? Underline the O, the E, the U, and the silent E twice. Draw an arrow back. Why? You got it. All right, you know the rest. Rule 4. That's it. And we do have to write that in. Rule 4. So what do we do with these 3 words? Awesome. Brace. We learned lots of different procedures in school. All right, I learned lots of different procedures when I was in the Army, said the young man and the young lady. Okay, so let's review. So let's go. Procedure, procedure, proceed, proceed, process, process. I say process, and I think most people in America say process, but if you're from Canada, England, or Australia, you'll say process. Okay, process. That's what I do, process, okay? Success, success, successful, successful, unsuccessful, unsuccessful, and succeed, succeed. I know that you guys are going to succeed, and you're going to have to go through quite a procedure process and to become successful with these sentences. That's all I can tell you. And sometimes you're going to have to admit that it's very, very difficult, but this work is all going to be due by the end of the day on Thursday. Okay? Nobody is going to be unsuccessful. Okay? You're going to proceed forward, and you're going to do some incredible, incredible work to be a great success. See what I just did?